Welcome to Informs What's Your Story. I'm Kara Tucker, the editor of ORMS Today here at Informs. I am joined today by Georgia Perakis. She is the William F. Pounds Professor of Operations Research and Statistics at the MIT Sloan School of Management and co-director of the Operations Research Center, also at MIT. She is an Informs Fellow and has been a member for more than 30 years. Hope you enjoy this interview. Please make sure to like and subscribe at the end. So Georgia, the holidays are coming up. What's your can't miss holiday tradition, the one that makes it feel like it's officially the holidays for you?
So first of all, thank you for talking to me. Happy holidays, everyone. Actually, this is my favorite time of the year. I live in Boston, Massachusetts, so I love the snow that sometimes comes with the holidays, the decorations. But to be honest with you, it wouldn't be holidays if I didn't go back home. Home is back in the island of Crete in Greece, spending it with my family. And that's really what reminds me of holidays.
That's lovely. Do you do any winter sports? Do you like to ski or
Unfortunately, because
snowshoe?
I was born in an island in the very south, I'm more like the swimming part and not because we didn't have skiing.
Yeah. You just
there.
Enjoy the snow now.
The weather
makes it feel
not conducive to snow.
Yes. Well, so tell us a little bit about your career journey. Has there been any surprises along the way? Several degrees in applied mathematics, and you've been at MIT since 1998. So give us a little insight into your career journey.
Right. My career journey was not as obvious as one might think. As you mentioned, I started with my master's and PhD at Brown University, and my advisor actually was Stella Dafermos, who was one of the first females in the field of operations research.
Wow.
Maybe the first, and if she's not the first, she's actually for sure the second.
Okay.
Unfortunately, she passed away in the third year of my PhD.
Oh my.
So I had to actually start all over again, this time actually at MIT. And I was lucky enough to be advised by Tom Magnanti, who has been an Informs president and a NORSA president. And so, I've been really lucky to have been mentored by great minds.
Yeah.
But my journey and my area of research actually evolved and adjusted over the years as our field has evolved and many new exciting things such as analytics, AI, many impactful areas that as a field we are actually changing and impacting with what we have to offer. Mm-hmm. So I basically like, this area exactly because it gives you the flexibility to do so many cool stuff.
Yeah. What's kept you at MIT for so long?
What kept me at MIT is the fact that I have the opportunity to work not just on theory, but also on practice. Access to so many practitioners, either through our students, doctors that have become my collaborators, and with the tools that we have as a field to change what they are doing, pricing practitioners, similar things, supply chain. I can keep on going here.
Perfect.
And of course, I think the most important thing is actually the students. Our students, and I'm biased here, but I think they're pretty darn amazing and they're special to me.
That's great. Thank you. So you mentioned AI and your students. So how are you implementing AI in the classroom now?
You're catching me actually on coming back from the Informs case competition, where we actually wrote and tested in the classroom a case that actually brings AI to the classroom. And it's called Reinforcement Learning for Clinical Decision Support. And this basically case was based on my research with one of my PhD students and one of my long-term collaborators in this area. This is something that I have been taught in my classroom for more than one session, actually. And in addition to the case, that's one of the cases actually, is also that we have written and implemented games that allow students to basically play with AI in the classroom. And more recently at MIT, We are actually incorporating AI tutors in our courses that allow the students to ask questions, navigate where the material is, but also ask questions. So that's very important. And yes.
Can you give an example of one of the games that you're using for that?
Yes. So what is the most fundamental tool in machine learning? It's regression. So yes, we teach them regression and they ask a lot of questions. But then the game was we made an interface together with my PhD students where the engine of regression runs in the background. And the case is about how to price houses.
Okay.
And think basically of Zillow. And their tool called Zestimates.
Right, yes.
We call it actually Hilo, and we call it the estimates.
Okay.
And we actually took data from Kaggle, and we did this interface where the students are deciding what features do they want to choose, running a model, looking at the output that's generated in the back engine automatically, and from there, they have another basically data set that they are not using that that allows them to validate the results. We let them play in the classroom, and then they choose and they submit their final model. And then we show them in the test set how they did. And then there is a prize, and we take pictures, and we are having a fun time. And at the same time, they practice hands-on how they learn regression with this case.
Nice. Can they find me an affordable 4-bedroom home somewhere in Maryland? Looking for a bigger house all the time, right? So you're obviously very passionate about your students, and mentorship seems to be very central in your career. You've supervised 34 PhD and 62 master's students and won several teaching awards. So what is your guiding philosophy when mentoring students and young faculty, especially those working at the intersection of theory and practice?
Right. So to me, my students, and also our junior faculty, are like family, to be very honest. So listening and being caring, it's the most important thing. Things didn't come easily to me. So as a result, I know what it takes, and I try basically to help others. But the most important thing that I try to guide them, and I think this is important for all of us, is positivity. And to remember that perfection is not in the human condition. We need to basically see the glass half full and not the glass half empty, and to find basically what are our strengths and to lean on them. And I think then we succeed.
So you mentioned it didn't come easy for you. Do you mean your education path? Do you mind speaking to that?
It was my education path, having an advisor who passed away, starting a new PhD all over again. And of course, I had a two-body problem. I was restricted in the geographic area. I was lucky that MIT was willing to take a chance on me and hiring me. But it wasn't obvious for a long time. I somehow believed, maybe naively, that I had what it takes. In the end, it worked out.
Obviously.
So I call it the law of large numbers. You focus on your goal over there. You're going to fail here over and over again. But if you believe in yourself, then you just focus on basically the long-term success. And it comes.
Thank you for sharing that. So you seem pretty famous at MIT, but if Hollywood were to make a movie about your life and your research, who would play you and what's the title of the movie?
So I think I will start with the title of the movie because I think to me, I would call it Perseverance.
Okay.
I believe very much in that quality. It very much describes who I am. Who would play me? Two names come to mind. Can I mention both?
Sure, absolutely.
So one is Julianne Moore.
Okay. Got the red.
I like the red, but also, I love her sophistication. Of course, I'm not as sophisticated, but I think I love her style. And another one, maybe a better one that comes to mind is Rachel McAdams.
Okay.
So these are the two. One of them, whoever took the job or the role, I should say.
We'll cast them both. So let's talk a little bit about your research. You have a research agenda that spans analytics and AI, optimization, machine learning, and you've applied that to pricing, revenue management, supply chain, healthcare, energy, probably more things. What do you consider your core research passion today, and how has that evolved throughout your career?
Right. Evolving from being an applied mathematician to an OR person and basically developing tools in analytics and AI. And to me, AI very much is what this field is doing. Basically, important applications when we can have an impact, because this is what we are as a field. For example, take healthcare. Clinicians and doctors and so forth are kind of realizing the power of AI. And we are not just about the tools. Yes, we develop important tools, but we basically like as a field to work on important application areas that are going to basically change people's lives.
Right.
Healthcare is a very important field like that. And so my research evolved over the years to basically not just developing the tools, but also focusing on making sure we have an impact.
That's great. Thank you. So in optimization that you also work in, are you someone who tries to optimize everyday life as well, like your grocery shopping, what's queuing theory, which line to choose, or when you're packing for a trip, when you go back to Greece?
You actually caught some of them, one of them being basically grocery shopping.
Yeah.
And with online grocery shopping, I really optimize what I shop and where and when the delivery window will be. So basically, I love doing that. Yeah. So I believe in efficiency in general, but I also believe that we should stop and smell the roses and drink a cup of coffee. I am Greek, which means coffee is very important, and that's why I always refer to coffee.
It's very important to most of us.
Yes.
So you do delivery groceries only now, right? I know ever since COVID, that's like the bee's knees. Do you do different stores for the different items? And then, you've got it all
I have
down.
Optimized, the quality on each.
Nice. Pricing.
Yeah, I don't want all of them to come at the same time. Yeah. So what's the best window?
Or no, food waste.
Exactly. And food waste. Exactly.
Great. You are editor-in-chief of Manufacturing and Service Operations Management and a longtime scholar in OR and analytics. So you have a front row view of how the field is shifting with all the research that you get to see. What major changes or emerging themes do you see in OR or revenue management that younger scholars or practitioners should be aware of?
So I very much see our field embracing AI and analytics. I think actually we are the perfect field for that. I think maybe we need to embrace it even more than what we are. And because we are not just embracing the theoretical development, but what's really important to me and where academia can make a difference is basically applying it to important application areas that can make a difference. And I see a lot of people starting to do that. And I think, more need to do that. But not just focus on developing AI, but also focusing on the applications and their impact, basically. Its impact as a result.
So as editor-in-chief, can you invite those types of research papers to the journal and try to get more?
So you can we invite, in fact, what we call a NOEM forum. In fact, there's going to be a NOEM forum paper, which will be about AI in supply chains. I'm very excited about us writing this. I'm saying this, but of course it has to go through the review process and so forth.
Yes. So see it in a few months or more.
Right. Yes, or more. And I think since you mentioned it, that's where we all need to make an effort to be positive on papers. A paper is not necessarily the last thing that people will write in the field. And I think other fields, say computer science, they are faster in their publication cycle times. And I think we as a field need to be a little bit more positive and a little bit more fast.
Okay. Well, there's always the magazines. So if someone wants to get something published faster, you can come to ORMS today.
Yes.
Just throw that out there.
Yes.
But besides the journals, which Informs member benefit do you find most valuable in your 30-plus year membership?
So definitely coming to conferences and networking with other people, I think that's one important thing. I also very much found useful over the years the societies and the sections because, you can easily find what's the area that interests you, become a member of that society or that section, and find information. In fact, when I wake up very early in the morning before I go to exercise, I actually look at all these section announcements.
Okay.
And that allows me to see things that are happening.
The Informs Connect?
Yeah, through Informs Connect. So, for example, the revenue management and pricing section, I go and see what's going on there. The Emson Society, I go see what's happening there. Data analytics, data mining, service science, transportation, logistics. I can keep on going.
Oh, yes, there's many of them.
Yes.
Well, that's great. I'm glad you utilized that. This is my final question for you. A little fun one, but what's a book, film, or podcast maybe that recently inspired you, either intellectually or just for fun? Something you'd recommend others to read or watch or listen to?
I think there are a couple. One of them actually is Hidden Figures.
Okay.
Which is about, I think her name was Katherine Johnson, and she was the first African-American woman that joined NASA.
Yes. There's a book and then a movie.
There's a book and a movie, and so I find her journey very inspiring.
Yeah.
I think she actually died at 101.
Oh, yeah.
But she had to go against all odds. So definitely that's an inspiring book and movie.
Yeah.
Another one that's first a book which I read and then it became a movie is Namesake.
Okay.
And Namesake, it's about the story of an immigrant from India. I come from Greece, but I was able very much to connect with that movie as an immigrant who came to the US to study, ended up staying, made, MIT and Boston, Massachusetts my home. So
great.
Very inspiring.
Thank you for that. And thank you for sharing your story. Thank you all for watching. Happy holidays. And please make sure to comment your favorite holiday tradition or how you optimize your groceries below. And always like and subscribe. Thanks for joining.
Happy holidays, everyone. Thank you.